Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? This is James. I'm back with a new topic. Today, we are going to have a bit of a rant. This is something that's really been bugging me. It's getting worse and worse, and it's a complete travesty to the American Constitution and to democracy in general. What am I talking about? Of course, I am talking about voter suppression. It's surprising to me because voters in this country are completely uninformed, for the most part, about politics of any kind. They barely vote as it is. You know, half the country doesn't even vote. I've been pushing for a long time for mandatory voting. Everyone should be forced to vote, in my opinion. If you want to have a democratic representative government, that everybody needs to be represented. First, I believe it was Georgia, then Florida, and now Texas is set to pass a voter suppression bill. Now, they're housing these as voter integrity bills. That's a pretty thinly veiled way to suppress the vote. And obviously, they're targeting Democratic areas. That's not surprising. And really, I don't think the politics are particularly important on this issue. I think both sides should be able to agree that this is outrageous. Suppressing the vote of any kind is completely undemocratic, anti-democratic. This is fascism. In my opinion, this entire voter fraud narrative seems to be a springboard that's being used by the right to ram through these anti-democratic voter suppression laws. You know, I looked at a lot of the evidence of supposed voter fraud. And now we see the reason why this voter fraud narrative has been pushed so hard. If you're a Republican, you should be ashamed of this type of behavior. This is unconstitutional. This is anti-democratic. The entire voter fraud narrative is cockamamie conspiracy gibberish that's being used to ram through these anti-democratic voter suppression laws. The judges threw these cases out for a reason. There is no evidence of voter fraud whatsoever. You should also be ashamed that they're using their time and resources to restrict voting rights instead of working on legislation that their base is asking for. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in politics in my entire lifetime. This proves how cynical the right is, which I've been saying for years. They give zero fucks about the people they supposedly represent. If they had it their way, no one would get to vote besides their lobbyists and backers. Their goal is to win by whatever means necessary. Their goal is not to represent you. Their goal is to win by whatever means necessary. This is totally undemocratic. How many times do I have to say this? It's disgusting and despicable. If they cared about democracy at all, they wouldn't be trying to sidestep the will of the electorate. Instead of changing their party's platform to more accurately represent the will of the voters, they're simply changing the base of people who are allowed to vote. This is despicable. This situation is so disgusting and egregious that even some large companies are speaking out against these measures. This is truly unprecedented. Companies like Apple, companies like Facebook. Okay, you can say what you want about Facebook. How about Merck, JP Morgan Chase? Honestly, I hope this blows up in the face of the Republicans and sets them back 20 years, because this is unconscionable and unbelievable. Sorry about the short video this week, guys, but we are working on a new podcast episode for this weekend. It should be awesome. Check it out. The Exploding Star Podcast on YouTube, the Exploding Star Podcast on Podbean. Check us out, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.